Okay, we could watch a simpler video. Like, remember last Brain Cell? We could watch one of his videos. Could one modern tank defeat 1,000 medieval knights? Like, I just feel like, bro, like, yes! I mean, I'll say it, like, I said it, like, last time I reacted to his, like, videos. Like, of course, the better technological advancement is gonna win. What if a modern jet fought at Pearl Harbor? Okay, this is interesting, actually. That's a bit... Alright, I'm just gonna mute that shit. Because this is a more of a fair matchup. Of course, another ad. 2 ads, bro. Like, who decided that that it was a good idea to include 2 ads in videos? Why couldn't it just be one? Alright, let me stream this shit. Let me stream this shit. Alright. Let's go.
December 7th, 1941. Hundreds of Japanese planes roar over Pearl Harbor. Battleships explode. Airfields burn. It's one of the darkest days in U.S. military history. But let's change one thing. Sitting on the tarmac, hidden under a tarp, is something no one understands.
And it has to be combat ready. It has to be combat ready. Let's not even get into it. Let's not even pretend that, you know, it's like it's out of service or that it needs to be prepared. Like, it has to be combat ready. Otherwise, it's done. It will be bombed. It will be destroyed.
The F-22 Raptor, a modern fighter jet dropped into a battle it was never built for. So what happens if the most advanced jet on Earth is unleashed during one of the most infamous attacks in history? Can it stop the raid? Or is it just...
Okay, so I'm gonna pause a lot. I just want to go ahead and say that right now. I'm gonna probably pause a lot during this video. So, I don't really know how modern jets or even how, like, aircraft back in the day work. I know that, like, these like World War II planes had, like, small, like, kind of machine guns on them, so that they would fire those at other planes, and that would make them go down. But I can't remember, like, I know that a jet has missiles, but, like, I don't think they have, like, a cannon or anything. So I don't really know what kind of firepower a jet packs.
one jet against hundreds? So what exactly
Yeah, one against hundreds, but it's way more advanced. Like, it could probably fucking obliterate 100 of them.
got dropped into 1941. It can cruise at Mach 1.5 without afterburners, over 1,100 miles per hour, or 1,770 kilometers per hour, faster than anything that existed in 1941. It's nearly invisible to radar. It's armed to the teeth. Here's what it's carrying. 6 AIM-120 AMRAAMs, radar-guided air-to-air missiles capable of hitting targets from over 50 miles away, or nearly 100 miles with the latest variant. 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders, heat-seeking missiles for close-range combat. 1 M61A2 Vulcan cannon, 20mm 6-barrel cannon with 480 rounds.
What the fuck? How does that happen?
Firing up to 100 rounds per second. Its radar can track over 20 targets at once.
Wait, where does it fire from? Is it like these holes on the side?
And fire before the enemy even knows it's there. It climbs faster, turns sharper, and flies higher than anything that existed back then. But it's not invincible. No ground crew, no spare parts, no modern fuel. In 1941, nobody can fix it, refuel it, or even understand it. The Raptor gets...
Okay, so how do they use it? Right? It's very, very important to set up the rules right here. So you've already mentioned that
nobody can fix it,
nobody can fix it,
fuel it, or
nobody can fuel it,
even understand it.
Or even understand it. So does that mean, like, you know what I mean? Because if it's gonna be like flown by somebody, then they at the very least need to understand it.
The Raptor gets one chance, and then it's done. Now let's look at what it's up against. On December 7th, 1941, the Japanese launched a surprise attack with 353 aircraft, split into 2 waves. The lineup? Mostly Mitsubishi A6M0 fighters, Nakajima B5N torpedo bombers, and Aichi D3A dive bombers. The Zero was fast and agile for its time, but still topped out around 330 miles per hour, or 530 kilometers per hour. The bombers were even slower, barely reaching 230 miles per hour. That's less than 370 kilometers an hour. These planes had no computers, no radar, no guided weapons. Everything was done manually, from aiming to navigation. If they wanted to shoot something, they had to see it first and get close. Their strategy relied on tight formations and overwhelming the enemy with speed and coordination, not technology. And back then, it worked, because no one was ready for it. But this time, someone is. The first wave of Japanese aircraft approaches. 183 planes coming in low over the water. The Raptor takes off just as the first formations are spotted. It climbs to altitude within seconds, radar scanning the horizon. Within moments, it locks on to multiple targets, all from over 30 miles away. They don't see it. They don't even know it's there. Then, missiles. The first AMRAAMs streak through the air. 1 second, the formation is tight. The next, planes vanish mid-flight. No warning, no return fire. Panic sets in. The bombers break formation. Fighters spin off in all directions, trying to find the threat. Nobody knows where the attack came from. The Raptor swings out and strikes again. By the time the Japanese pilots figure out something's wrong, a dozen planes are already gone. They've never seen anything like this. And the scariest part, they still haven't even seen the jet.
Exactly, bro. Like, it really isn't even a battle. I think the jet completely stops the attack if it's prepared for it, and if somebody at least knows how to drive it, or how to fly it, how to shoot with it. Absolutely. Like, it was armed with some crazy shit. You said something about Vulcan cannon, missiles, radar, target strikers. Bro, it's GG's. What do you want me to say? It's obviously over.
Yet. The second wave is already on the way. Another 170 planes flying the same path towards Pearl Harbor. But this time, the surprise is gone. Alarms are going off. Soldiers rush to man anti-aircraft guns. And up above, one jet is changing the entire battle. But there are over 300 enemy planes in the air, and no amount of tech can be everywhere at once. The jet is fast, but it's still just one. Every second it spins chasing fighters up high, more bombers sneak through down low. The F-22 is winning in the sky, but even that has a time limit. The Raptor can fly over 1,600 nautical miles, or about 1,840 miles, when cruising smoothly with extra fuel tanks attached. In intense combat, it burns fuel fast. After 30 to 40 minutes of dogfighting, it either lands or goes down. And landing creates a new problem. The F-22 runs on JP-8 jet fuel, a modern military-grade blend that doesn't exist in 1941. Even if it touches down safely, there's no way to refuel it. No one has the fuel, the tools, or the technical knowledge.
So just fight in the jet until you've shot down a majority of the planes, and then just eject yourself with a parachute and just abandon the fighter and then just go from there. I mean, it kind of seems like the people on Pearl Harbor are kind of getting ready to strike back.
It also can't be rearmed. Its AIM-120 and AIM-9 missiles don't exist yet. And even if someone found them, they'd have no idea how to load or launch them. No maintenance crew, no diagnostics, no spare parts. If a sensor fails or a system glitches, it stays that way. And without the right tools or computer systems, even something simple becomes mission-ending. Meanwhile, the Japanese side has fully functional logistics. Their aircraft launch from nearby aircraft carriers, which are stocked with fuel, bombs, and trained deck crews. They can refuel, rearm, and launch dozens of planes every few hours. In 1941, they've rehearsed this exact attack down to the second. The Raptor is unmatched in the air. But once it's out of fuel or ammo, it's done. No second run. The clock is ticking. So the question is, can it actually stop the attack? Well, Pearl Harbor wasn't just an air battle. It was a coordinated strike on ships, airfields, and infrastructure. In the real 1941 attack, 8 U.S. battleships were damaged or sunk. 188 aircraft were destroyed on the ground, another 159 damaged, and more than 2,400 Americans lost their lives.
That's
Could
crazy.
one F-
From one attack. From one attack that wasn't even meant on like. It wasn't even like meant to kill Americans. It was more meant to like damage their capabilities, and yet 2,400 Americans died. Like, I know that it was a surprise attack, but like, I still don't get it. Like, that must have meant that so many people were on those like ships. Like, that's what I'm guessing, that like all people who died were on the ships when it happened, because like, how does 2,400 Americans die from like an attack that just bombs like, you know, ships and like fuel stations and whatnot? It's just, it seems, it's just a lot of deaths. But I mean, I guess, I mean, battleships back then probably needed to have like 2,000 like men to man it. Like, it was crazy. Like, like I'm pretty sure. Let me look this shit up. How many people to man a battleship World War II? Yeah, you see that? 2,700%. That is so. What is it now? Modern day. Okay, it's still like thousands of people for one ship. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, it's big, but like, I don't think you understand how many people like that actually is. Like, 1,000, like 600 to 2,000 people is crazy. Yeah, I mean, no wonder then. Like, because yeah, I think I saw a documentary about Pearl Harbor. Like, they were sleeping inside the boats, I believe. So they just got completely spawn camped.
22 changed that. Yes, but not completely. The Raptor dominates, but even that has limits. If every missile hits and the cannon is used perfectly, it might bring down around a dozen enemy aircraft. That's 8 with missiles and a few more using the Vulcan cannon, depending on how many rounds it takes to disable each one. Realistically, somewhere between 10 and 13 planes could be taken out. That's it. Enough to disrupt a wave. Planes could be taken out.
What? I mean, hey, he knows his facts probably, but 10 to 13 is little. Like, that's very little.
That's it. Enough to
And he said 300 aircraft in total?
disrupt a wave, not enough to stop an entire armada. That alone could save ships, save lives, especially if the Raptor focuses on hitting the bombers before they get into range. But it can't stop all of them. There are too many planes, too many angles, too many targets. Even a flawless F-22 mission can't be in 10 places at once. Some bombers will still get through, and some ships will still take hits. It changes the scale of the disaster, not the fact that it happened. But what about the bigger picture? The shock alone would hit both sides hard. For the Japanese pilots, it's chaos. Planes vanish before they even see the threat. The entire plan begins to fall apart. And for the American troops on the ground, they look up and see something they can't explain. A jet no one's ever seen, taking down the enemy with ease. They don't know what it is, only that it's on their side.
Let's really imagine that you're like living in this era and you see this, like this, like Raptor thingy. That is actually the definition of alien technology. Like, I said this in his last video too about like the Marine platoon in Rome. Like, just try to picture it. I mean, you really can't, but God, like, bro, where will humans be in 100 years? Just 100 years. We'll have AI aircraft probably, and it could probably like morph and. Yo, no wait, I'm actually making a prediction. AI aircraft, because it's AI, we won't need like a driver's seat or like a parachute or anything like that. So we could literally build aircraft like this, maybe even more technologically advanced, that could steer itself. Because you can make AI that is programmed to steer jets like perfectly. Yo, I'm making a prediction. That shit sounds accurate as fuck. In like 100 years, oh, definitely. Especially now that technology is going crazy. It might even be less than that. Maybe it'll even be in my lifetime. I don't know, man. Maybe this generation will die to like a nuke or something. Or some bullshit like this. The peaceful era of the world is probably gonna end sooner or later. Nukes, they've kept us in check, but something else is gonna come up.
It wouldn't stop Pearl Harbor, but it would shake the attackers, boost morale, and maybe, just maybe, turn panic into a fighting chance. The war still starts, but it doesn't start the same. It might develop differently, but one thing is certain. One jet can't protect every ship, every airfield, every soldier. Especially without
Of course not.
supplies. Or,
Of course not.
What do you...
But it should, like... It should still be able to, like, do a... Like, I'm talking the kind of damage where, like, the whole operation messes up. If we're talking... Like, no. The modern jet will not save every single life at Pearl Harbor like some fucking Disney movie. Of course not. But what I'm saying is, it could do a lot of damage. Like, okay, so if there's 300 planes there, and like, I refuse to believe it can only take down 10 to 13. Like, if you have a parachute ejector thingy, just go for it. Be like a kamikaze plane. You exhaust all your fuel and resources, and then you jump. Like with a parachute. That's not even like a kamikaze thing, because you survive. But still, like, I just, 10 to 13? Like, I don't think so. 10 to 13 seems ridiculous. But I mean, the video's basically over now, so.
think? And what happens when a Roman legion charges a World War II?
What time is it? 42 minutes. Low key. I can see one more. I can watch one more video, probably. One more short-ass video. Okay, screw it. Let's just go. Let's just go.
If you dropped a single M1A2 Abrams tank onto a medieval battlefield against 10,000
Let's see if Last Brain Cell can change my mind.
fully armored knights, who wins? Let's start with the obvious scenario. Knights have never seen anything like it.
Wait, we're comparing tanks to knights? Like, we're talking these knights? I mean, I don't know what knights I was thinking of, but maybe something a little more advanced than this. I mean, they're dead. Yeah, no, they're just dead. They're just... That's what it is, man. They're just fucking dead. Like, they are not surviving this monster. I literally think a fair matchup would have been 10,000 medieval knights. 10,000? But like, they have swords. Swords is never gonna do anything to this armor. So he's probably gonna say some bullshit like, oh, you know, when the tank runs out of fuel and ammunition, then it's GG's. Like, like, no, bro. He could, like, the driver could probably stay in the tank, like, and just live there. And then eventually, you know, the food in the tank runs out, like, yeah, alright.
A metal beast that spits fire, sounds like thunder, and strikes from miles away.
Exactly.
The tank crew opens with a 120mm heat round.
And it also has, like, so if there's a group of knights, you use, like, the main gun. And if there's just a few, you can use this, because they also have a built-in machine gun.
Boom.
Because of course they
30
do.
knights gone in one shot. Then they follow up with the mounted machine gun.
I know my shit, man. I know my shit. Come on.
Hundreds of rounds per minute, mowing down the front lines like grass. Horses panic. Chaos spreads. Nobody knows where it's coming from. This is what modern armies call shock and awe. Overwhelming, paralyzing force delivered fast enough to break the enemy's will before they even start fighting. In this version, the knights never stood a chance. The tank wins without even taking a scratch. But let's be honest, that's the boring version. Let's say they don't break. They think it's a beast from the underworld. They charge it. Now we've got a real fight. So let's break it down. The M1A2 Abrams is a monster. 60 tons of composite armor, a 1500 horsepower in.
What is rushing gonna do? What is rushing to the tank and attacking it like maniacs gonna do? That's like trying to tackle your problems without thinking. That's like having a problem in your life and just running headfirst into it. Which, by the way, you should not do. You should think about the solution to the problem. I'm sorry, and unfortunately, when it comes to this, if this is your problem in your life, if you're a medieval knight, I'm sorry, you're just never gonna... like, it's... No, it's over.
Engine, and a main cannon that can hit targets over 4 kilometers away. It also has thermal vision, GPS targeting, and enough fuel to keep moving for hours. It runs with a 4-person crew, a commander, gunner, loader, and driver. On the other side, we've got 10,000 knights, heavy plate armor, lances, swords, crossbows. They ride war horses trained to crash through enemy lines. In their world, they are the elite, the top warriors with the strongest armor and weapons. But here's the catch. Medieval weapons can't do anything to a modern tank. Swords just...
Really? Oh, you see, because I thought they stood a chance. Yeah, I thought they stood a chance. Like, do you realize that this tank literally has armor designed to be able to repel, like, other tank shots like this? That's how, like, we're not talking like a basic metal armor that if you used all your might, you could puncture through. Like, no, you will... Like, it is more likely that if you do that, that your sword will just snap. You are so unbelievably cooked in this scenario. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like, we don't joke about that stuff.
Light off. Arrows break as soon as they hit. And even if they climbed on top, they'd be pounding on the armor like kids hitting a refrigerator with a stick. So,
yeah,
this should be easy, right?
No, because they don't have fuel, and they don't have any ammunition, and they don't have a bunch of bullshit that nobody cares about.
Quite. Tanks don't run on magic. They run on fuel, ammo, and air.
And air? Oh, right, because oxygen and what... They also need, food, rations, MREs... Just bring me the list.
And they've got humans inside. People who can get tired, confused, or overwhelmed.
Or hungry.
That's where it gets interesting. The tank carries just 40 main cannon shells and around 10,000 machine gun rounds. Sounds plenty until you remember 10,000 knights. No resupply, no backup. Once the ammo runs low, every shot starts to matter. And mobility? Not unlimited. The tank moves fast in open space, but not forever. Sooner or later, it has to stop, cool down, refuel, reset. And if there's one thing the knights...
Oh, so the tank can refuel? Oh, that's a little OP. Oh, that's a little bit OP.
No.
Because at that point, it can use its gun and rotate like the top barrel to just knock knights out. Like if the knight is like literally just right here, rushing in towards the tank, and the tank just rotates its barrel, it will hit them on the head and it's just over. They'll just fall over and die. Like with that force, they could probably do it. I mean, we're talking a giant beast of a machine.
Out of weight. They've fought siege battles that lasted weeks. They know how to wear an enemy down. So now the question is... Okay,
sure. But do they know how to wear a monster down? Cause that's the thing. In their eyes, this is not a fucking human. For all they know, this is just some robot. They don't even know what it is. They don't even know what a robot is. Like, they've never seen a robot in their lives. But it is clear that this shit is from another world. It is literally in their eyes like some fucking Martian could have just dropped this down. Like a fucking Fortnite crate, bro. Like, for all they know. So, no, they don't know how to wear this thing down. Unless they somehow figure that shit out.
Tank finish this fast enough before it gets surrounded, because terrain changes everything. The tank's biggest advantage is distance. It's built for open fields where it can spot enemies early and fire before they get close. On flat ground with no cover, it turns into a steel sniper nest. But medieval battles weren't always fought in open fields. They happened in forests, hills, and valleys. A tank's nightmare. Trees block movement. Mud slows them down. Steep slopes can trap the treads. Worst of all, visibility drops.
Then Loki, like the strat is just don't go into the forest. Just don't go into the forest. I'm not even lying. Don't even go there. Although I will say, it is a little bit. The only thing that I've like picked up on that seems interesting is the fact that there's a gunner right here, and that he's exposed. So if you want to use your machine gun rounds to kill knights, and the knights start approaching you frantically, like from behind and from the sides, you need to immediately, like as soon as they start climbing this thing, because they're gonna see the human. So as soon as they start climbing this thing, you need to close the lid and just hide in the tank until they leave, until they get tired. That's an interesting scenario, because then it will be harder to get them off. Say you rotate the barrel and the knights are on here, they could probably hold on. They could probably hold on to the tank, right? Because yeah, if the knight gets here, it's gonna cut you down. It doesn't even care like about the armor you're wearing. Like it doesn't care. It's just gonna completely cut you down. So I think the strat is, if the tank rolls up on a group of knights, the first thing you do is you fire this cannon, killing 30 of them instantly. If they start rushing towards you and spreading out, then save these and just try to like mow them down the best you can. And when they get really close, you go into the tank. That's the way to do it.
Vision doesn't help much when you're surrounded by trees and knights hiding in every direction. Now, imagine.
Okay, just don't go in the trees, because that's actually like, then you're just giving yourself a disadvantage. So just don't do that.
Knights split up. No straight line charges. They come from all directions.
Exactly. That's the thing. And especially if you're in terrain like this, where they can hide behind rocks and trees, then, I mean, sure enough. But I don't think they'll ever figure out how to open this thing, especially not if it has a lock to it. I'm not a tank engineer, but if it has a lock and it can't be opened, they will sadly never break through, ever.
Some on foot, some on horseback, some hiding behind trees.
Do you think they're smart enough to camp it? Like just set up camp outside the tank? Say they rush this thing, and the people driving it are forced to stay inside. Do you think they're smart enough to just set up camp here? So as soon as they try to like drive away, actually they could drive away anyway. But as soon as they try to like get out to fire at them, they just charge. I think humans are smarter than you think. I think they'll figure that shit out.
These and rocks. The
10,000 of them, absolutely.
Tank gets surrounded. It's not damaged, but the crew inside is overwhelmed, constantly scanning for threats, struggling to keep up. Stress builds. Mistakes follow. And here...
But what's nice is that if you're a tank driver, you could just have the ability, if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, just sit back, relax, take a cup of coffee, and just chill inside your tank. Like, don't drive it, don't waste fuel, don't waste ammunition. Just sit there and just chill. Like, I think that's just, because like, they're never, oh, you know what they could do? Oh, you know what I don't know if they have the weapons to do it, but the knights could try to damage the wheels. Or like this stuff right here. If they're strong enough, they could probably do it. And oh my god. And that's gonna be an issue. Low key. Okay, this one is closer than I thought. The tank strategy for winning is gonna be, okay, first of all, it has to do a surprise attack. Like, it has to come out of nowhere. Secondly, it has to stay in open fields. This is not an open field. There's trees, there's rocks. In an open ass field where you can see everything. Stay there, camp there for however long as you need, assuming you have infinite food, which I guess not. But I don't know how you're gonna hunt down 1,000 medieval knights that are hiding, especially with limited ammunition. But it seems like they're charging at you. So yeah, the strat is just stay in an open field, let them come to you, gun them down, shoot tank rounds at them, and then pray, I guess. And when you feel scared or overwhelmed, just chill in your tank. Just chill. You don't waste anything. You just take a deep breath. You hear like the clanking outside from them trying to destroy your tank, but you just pray that they don't do that.
Here's the twist. The knights start sending waves of riders just to distract the gunner and waste ammo. Every shot fired at one of them is one less for the real attack. It's not about winning the fight, it's about draining the tank. Knights are playing smart. So,
but you just said that they are like stupid and that they don't understand what they're fighting. So how do, because that's what I'm like, how do they even know? Like, if I was a medieval knight, I wouldn't know what the hell I'm fighting. I wouldn't know it could be drained out. I would have just assumed that it would have kept going and just kill us forever. Like, maybe if it was, like, I feel like if this was 100 modern humans, or 10,000 modern humans with this armor and these weapons, then yes, we would have had some knowledge on tanks since before. But like, these people, they don't have that. They don't have the knowledge. And so it's just impossible.
What does the tank crew do? They adapt. It's time to change tactics. First move, shoot and scoot. Fire a round, then immediately relocate. It keeps the knights guessing and helps avoid getting surrounded.
I feel like that's not the strategy, because you're gonna lose a lot of ammo.
By the time orders reach the front, the tank's already gone. Then comes hull down positioning. The crew finds dips in the terrain, low ground, where only the turret is exposed. From there, they can hit riders while most of the tank stays hidden. The knights charge, but they can't even see where the shots are coming from. If things get too crowded, the Abrams can use reverse retreat fire, backing up while spraying bullets with a coaxial gun. The closer the knights get, the more accurate and painful the response becomes.
I don't know. Like, you have one turret. My guy. And if these people just scatter like they do here, rushing from all sides, tell me, how is this turret gonna turn this way, to this way, to this way, to this way, to that way? Seems a little strange, doesn't it? It doesn't really seem possible to me.
And at night, thermals on, engine off. The tank turns into a silent ghost with glowing eyes. The knights see nothing. Then flash, fire, thunder, and it's gone. The battlefield feels like a haunted forest. But even that can't last forever, because both sides have a common enemy, time. Every time the crew reloads, it takes about 6 seconds. That's fast until your target is charging on horseback at 30 miles per hour. The coaxial machine gun runs on 200-round belts. Swapping in a new belt takes about 5 to 10 seconds. And after extended firing, the barrel can overheat and needs to be swapped out too. Another few seconds lost. Now, fuel. The Abrams holds 500 gallons of jet fuel and burns through about 60 gallons an hour under mixed movement. That gives the crew about 8 hours of life before they run dry. No gas stations in the 1300s either. Once it's out, it's done. But here's the twist. The knights aren't invincible either. They need food. A lot of it. Each knight eats around 2.5 kilograms of food per day. And their horses? About 10 kilograms each. That means the full medieval army needs over 125,000 kilograms of food per day just to keep standing. That's more than 270,000 pounds. And unlike the tank crew, they can't just stash meals in a compartment. They need wagons, servants, livestock, and clean water. If the battle drags on, knights could start dropping from exhaustion and starvation alone. Also, horses aren't tanks. They need around 6 hours of rest a day, so do the knights. And when horses get tired, they don't charge. They stumble, break formation, and panic. Tick, tick, tick. And just when you think it's a straight countdown, chaos kicks in. First, mechanical failure. The Abrams is tough, but not unbreakable. Enough mud, branches, or debris in the wrong spot, and the track could break. Now, the tank's stuck. A steel turret on a pedestal. Still dangerous, but not mobile. And in this fight, movement is everything. Second, weather. Rain turns fields into mud. Tanks sink. Visibility drops. Fire control systems can glitch. Meanwhile, knights are used to fighting in all weather. Rain to them is just Tuesday. Third, fire. Knights know how to use torches, oil, and smoke. They could roll in burning carts or siege weapons. Not to destroy the tank, but to block its view and force it to reposition.
But, like, bro, like, they're not gonna be... Like, I'm sure that medieval knights are smart, but it doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't have intel on your enemy. Do you think the best general... Okay, real question. Do you think the best general, like, that we have in modern day, like, that lives right now, would know how to handle, like, an alien tank or just, like, an alien unit? No! Because you know nothing about it. You know nothing about its capabilities. You know nothing about its weapons. You don't even know where it came from. Right? Like, it makes sense. Like, yes, you could do that if you're smart and you know what the tank's abilities are, but they don't know that. So if they now have to supply food on top of everything, it's bad for them. But it's also bad for the tank, because you're going to run out of ammunition real quick.
And here's a wild card. A distraction swarm. Knights release running livestock. Cows, pigs, wild horses.
Yeah, but this... Okay, maybe they would be smart enough to do that, actually. Maybe they would be smart enough to do that, because they've kind of seen the tank's capabilities. They've seen that, okay, it moves forward at a, medium pace, and it has some kind of weapon thingy. So maybe if we just put out some animals, that will slow it down even more. I could see that, but man, those knights are gonna have to be hella smart for that.
Not to attack, but to use as moving cover. The tank's thermal sights light up with fast-moving heat. Last variable, the human one. The crew's been fighting for hours. They're outnumbered, under pressure, sweating inside 70 tons of steel. One wrong call, one missed shot, one reload too slow, and it could be over. So, who wins? If the fight is quick, open terrain, and no mistakes, the tank dominates. 10,000 knights can't get close before the ammo runs out. But if the field gets rough, if fuel runs low, if a tread breaks or one mistake slips in, then the numbers start to matter. So, what's the real answer? The tank probably wins the battle, but it might not survive the war. However, there's one more hypothetical scenario. Let's say the knights lose, badly. They charge and watch their friends disappear in fire and smoke. They've never seen anything like it. A giant, loud monster. In their world, there is no word for tank. So, what do they call it? A beast, a miracle, or a god. They start praying to it, painting it, following it. And the crew? Well, they're not tank operators anymore. They're prophets now. What would happen if a single Navy SEAL...
Okay, how does that affect the battle at all? Like, what? Alright, anyway, W video. I completely forgot to shout out this channel, Last Brain Cell. Subscribe. I've already subscribed, so you probably should too. And, yeah, I mean, 1 hour, 4 minutes, that's perfect. That's perfect for me. But yeah, please pray for me, bro, because my life is over. My summer is over, and my fun is over. I will never, my freedom is over. Like, everything. I'll never be free ever again. But yeah, I'll see you. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in a few days. Not a week. The break I just took was a very long break, so I'll probably see you give or take 2 days, maybe.